Hey, how's it going? If you are new here, welcome. My name is Drew, and on this channel, I discuss topics surrounding higher education as well as tips and advice on sort of navigating that college experience. So if you are looking to find more, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And in this video, I have another book review for you that I found to be pretty interesting, and it is called What's the Point of College by Johann Neem. Now, Johann Neem is a historian. He's also faculty at Western Washington University, and this book is sort of a collection of essays that really talks about the state of higher ed. And so what he means is we've really twisted higher education and the existence of colleges today that we've lost sight of why we implemented them in the first place and what their true purpose is. And what he's saying is that everything has become so shifted now that we view colleges as consumer goods and students are the consumers. And it's just really about producing graduates who can go into the workforce and create profits. And that's not the point of higher education at all. And so you have policymakers on both sides of the aisle who have differing views about higher education. And you also have differing views from the public about what they think colleges should do for their students in their communities. And so in the series of essays, Neem really breaks down a lot of major topics. So he will talk about online education, for-profit institutions, research at institutions, and how they may not be serving the public good with what they are choosing to research, which I thought was interesting. And then a few other things about majors in the liberal arts. He's a big advocate for the liberal arts, as he does teach history courses, and I wholeheartedly agree with him. He talks about how business is the largest undergraduate major in the country and why that is. And also there's a chapter on the humanities and also a chapter on STEM. Now the STEM chapter, or rather the STEM essay, really stood out to me, because he questioned what we are doing, and I think rightfully so, because you know that there is a large emphasis on majoring in a STEM degree, so that's science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, and you know that that is going to be sort of a straight line into a lucrative job, and it's going to really get you into a job that's going to change, and there's going to be a growing field, and there's a lot of demand for it. But what Neem is arguing is, are we producing too many STEM graduates for starters? And are we missing the point of STEM? Because he argues that STEM is still a part of liberal education because you have originally liberal arts and sciences. But what we are doing is now we are looking at STEM as just going into the workforce. We are trying to create people who are job ready and are able to walk into a job and start producing in terms of technology and also all of the other STEM related fields, and really start producing research and that knowledge. So I thought that was a very interesting essay, and I think overall I agree with Neem. I think obviously as an employee in higher education, as someone who values higher education, I am fully in support of everything that he says, where we really need to re-examine the purpose of higher education. And so what he's saying overall, students shouldn't be going to college to acquire credits or acquire competencies, but they need to go because they need to aim for the desire to learn. They need to aim for a better understanding, because that is the ideal graduate that we should be aiming for. Because we can provide training for skills to anyone, but what we need to produce is people who are able to think critically and reason their way through life. Because when you have a greater understanding of the world around you through liberal arts, you're able to analyze through multiple perspectives, you're able to take in more information and make better sense of your immediate environment. And these are the people who are going to be productive citizens, they're going to be civic minded, and they're going to be much more effective in how they navigate life's problems. So the idea of going to college is to become a better person, which sounds cliche and a little bit idealistic, but that's the point, is to become a better thinker. It's to become interested or infatuated with learning and growing and learning how to learn, so that once you graduate, you're able to continue that growth and that development and adapt to changing situations. Because if we continue to produce graduates who are single-minded or only focused on one career field, they're going to be limited when things shift, and they are not necessarily going to know how to adapt when their employers are asking them to adapt. So it's very thought-provoking. I had the audiobook. It was a very quick listen, so I assume it's a very short read. If you can get your hands on a copy of this, please do. If this, I would recommend this to anyone who is questioning higher education, and also those who are in support of or opposed to higher education, because it adds some very critical perspectives, and it's a full rounded perspective. It was not very direct in any sort of bias, and it left me wanting more in terms of I need to go search this out and continue to do research and dive into these topics like online education and for-profits. So I think it was a fantastic read. I highly recommend it. So make sure that you can go check it out yourself. So as always, I hope you liked this. I will continue to bring more book reviews. So if you do have any books in mind that I have not yet covered, please let me know. I would love to hear your recommendations. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share it if there's someone who needs to hear about this book. And I will catch you in the next one.